TikTok at least, because that was something else. So that is going to complete the Touring and Wilderness class here at Music City STOL 2025. We are going to take a short break. We'll be back to bring you all the trophy celebration action of these two classes. And after that, hold on to your butts, folks, because Adventure Class and Unlimited Class are coming up next.
A special thanks to our local sponsors. Presenting sponsor, Volunteer State Bank. The City of Gallatin, Tennessee. Gallatin Economic Development. Destination, Gallatin. Sumner County Tourism. Brower Material Handling Systems. Flight Solutions. Jet Access. Property Pilots. Botero Carts. And Charlie's Golf Carts. Special thanks to our annual sponsors: Legend Aircraft, Clemens Insurance, Behringer Aero, Sarasota Avionics, Lift Aviation USA, Flying Eyes Optics, Red Tag Art, Legendary Aviation Coffee Company, iFly EFB by Adventure Pilot, ICOM Radios, Tundra Tailwheel, Fly Orca. And we are back here in Music City. Man, just I guess north of Music City. We're at Music City Executive Airport in Gallatin, Tennessee. And man, what a crowd. You guys are huge and amazing. You've been with us all day, and it's going to get even more exciting in the last two classes here. We got to talk about the end here, the touring class and the wilderness class. Can I get a round of applause for all these pilots, though? What a show in the heavies. And the big experimental heavy big boys, or whatever Cam and I were calling them. Okay, let's start with the touring class. In third place with a combined score of 487 feet. Give it up for James Abbott. Did he fly out of here? I think he flew out of here. He's like, all right, see you guys later. That was fun. Third place, I'm out. All right, in second place with a combined score of 418 feet. Let's give it up for Rick Holman. Come on up, Rick. And then in first place with a combined score of 314, DJ Holman.
Hey,
Oh, he's.
Gotta get him ahead of time.
Yeah, you got to get him ahead of time. Here we go. DJ, tell me what it was like out there for you. It's still squirrely out there today.
Oh yeah, it was really squirrely at the very end of the run. My first run was very, very rough, but I was able to come back at the very end with my last run. It was an awesome flight today. It was so fun.
You looked great out there. Now, Dad, what do you think about that?
I think it sucks.
Okay, that's fair. 2 scratches got a good one in on the 3rd run, though.
Yeah, no, I was kind of desperate at the last, so I just wanted to get a decent run in and give him at least a run for the money. But he did awesome. I'm proud of him.
He's proud of you, but it also sucks. All right, let's hear it for the touring class. Oh! Next up, the wilderness class, the other side of the heavy aircraft equation in STOL. This was a tight one. In 3rd place with a combined score. We'll wait for the Swift. That's Pretty Bird. All right, here we go. With a combined score of 246 feet, we got another one. You got another one after that? Thanks. They're looking out for me. What is this? It's like they don't know we're doing a show here. I guess style points, though. Is that it? All right, no more cool retract fast airplanes. All right, here we go. In 3rd place with a combined score of 246 feet. Let's hear it for Brandon Korn. Now, 2nd and 1st place are separated by 2 feet. Who was measuring is what he says. In 2nd place with a combined score of 225 feet. Let's give it up for John McCardle. And in 1st place, hanging on from the first heat with a combined score of 223 feet, Jared Garrettson. Jared, talk to me about what it's like to do that first heat and have to put down scores that are defensible by the 2nd heat.
Man, I just had to get out there and do the best I could. The winds were not super favorable to me, but you know, this Boss airplane, everybody ought to have one if they want to win. That's the ticket right there. It's all the airplane.
Okay, I don't know if that's 100% true, but it probably helps. All right, let's hear it for the wilderness class. Folks, we are going to be, here we go. Oh, John McCardle's just cooling off. We will be right back with the adventure class here in Gallatin, Tennessee.
Good job.
Nice job. Good job. Good job, man. My name is Brian Stack. I'm from Mineola, Texas. 2020 Legend MOAC.
That's one, go.
You know, at the time, I had no idea what I was building. Went and talked to Darren and Randy at Legend Aircraft, and, you know, I just built an airplane that we could go fly in. And
those MOACs make it challenging, don't they?
Oh man, them are some beautiful birds. The pilots are good, you know, it's competition.
He calls this airplane, not only does he call it Pepper, he also says it's part of the wolf pack. You can tell why he says that, the beautiful wolf on the front.
For STOL, it's hard to beat a Super Cub. It's called a Lycoming 0290. It's only 125 horsepower. Being as lightweight as it does, it seems to compete pretty good, especially in the stall stuff compared to the bigger guys.
Here comes Brian. With a scratch for Brian Shirley.
But now I kind of had time to regroup myself, because it does kind of get in your mind a little bit that you got off your routine a little bit, and I was off my routine today altogether. Brand new airplane, just got it done. I've had it in the mountains at my home airport up there is at 8,000. I've had it at Leadville, which is 10,000. Where I'm actually from is Dodge City, Kansas, and I've had it there is 2,600. So yeah, I've had all over the country. It's performing well.
And folks, welcome back to Music City STOL at Music City Executive Airport in Gallatin, Tennessee. Up next we have the Adventure Class.
I've been excited about this class all day, and here it is.
Oh yeah, looks like we got 55 Levi Nogas and the 2025 American Legend Nomad from Killeen, Texas. Race number 513, Brian Steck, and the 2024 American Legend Moac from Mineola, Texas. Number 8, Mike Babcock, and the 2025 Badlands Traveler from Cottage Grove, Oregon. And number 40, Patrick McIntyre, and the 2025 Badlands Traveler from Lincoln, Nebraska.
So it's the battle of the legends against the Badlands.
Yeah.
And we are in for a treat. You're going to see a couple different variations on a theme here. And the first differences to show are the differences between these two Badlands Travelers. If you look at Mike Babcock's plane, I love that shade of blue actually, that light blue airplane. He's got a pretty crazy engine on the front of that compared to Pat McIntyre, who's got maybe a more standard aircraft engine. We'll explain the differences as we go, but that's one thing to look at. Also, obviously, his approach to gear is a little different.
Yeah, I talked to Mike about his gear and see if he got that custom coil gear in order. He said he's got it dialed in, got it all figured out.
So right up in front of you there, race number 8, the 2025 Badlands STOL Aircraft Traveler from Cottage Grove, Oregon. Give it up for Mike Babcock.
Mike decided to make the trip to Tennessee to give Big Mac a little competition. You notice he switched classes at the last event, making a late season run, and no doubt he's one of the best pilots on the circuit.
Yeah, he's talking about the next pilot up here, Pat McIntyre.
Yeah, heavy mods to that aircraft. He run the same engine that Eddie Sanchez is running, but it's that on the 998T.
Next up, from Lincoln, Nebraska, race number 40, a 2025 Badlands Traveler. Give it up for Pat McIntyre.
Pat McIntyre is from Lincoln, Nebraska. He's a veterinarian, of all things, and an aerobatic instructor as well. Flies really cool, fast airplanes, also some turboprops.
I don't know where that guy finds the time. All right, now from the Badlands side of the combat, we're going to switch over to the Legend side. American Legend Aircraft. This first one here from Mineola, Texas, race 513 of the 2024 American Legend Aircraft Moac, the mother of all Cubs. Give it up for Brian Steck.
Brian Steck has that Gladiator 390 on the front of that aircraft. That is a water-cooled engine. The water cooler of his own design he stole, if you want to say it like that, but that airplane is very capable. So is the pilot.
And now something a little bit different for Belton, Texas. It's race number 55, a 2025 American Legend Aircraft Nomad. Levi Nogas.
Levi Nogas joined the Navy for adventure. He ended up at the Naval Academy. He said that he couldn't hack it, so he joined the Marines. He spent 6 years in recon and forced recon companies. And he also was a Green Beret from a stint at the Army Special Forces School.
And so one thing that Levi wanted to point out about this Nomad, right? It's the plane that there's 3 in existence so far. One of them is Trent Palmer's, famous YouTuber Trent Palmer. This one is the one that Levi's flying right now in front of you. It's so new, we're not exactly sure what class it goes in. So Levi's like, well, let me go up against my buddy Brian and the other legend, and we'll see if it stacks up here. So he is off and running in the adventure class. It's definitely a different kind of power plant, right? Running that Rotax 916 turbo. So it can fly up to altitude, no problem, maintain horsepower. Levi described it as like a perfect all-rounder airplane.
I believe it.
Now the MOAC, this one's called High Strung, and you can hear why. And we are right off around 75 feet from Brian Steck. This is someone who I've loved watching him compete the last couple years in High Strung. He's been working on that airplane, fine-tuning it. Has been working on the airplane a lot this season and just kind of finally getting back to competition. So cool to see him flying around. Now, Pat McAfee. Woo! That being off a little bit sooner than the right one.
So Brian Steck takeoff 733, Brian Nogek for 136.
Now listen to the difference in engines, right? You can hear the turbo blow-off valve of this Yamaha Sidewinder. Pat McAfee, meanwhile, running like a standard aircraft. Sounded not great.
Might be in a situation where he needs something longer.
Breathing a little bit too much fire out of that aircraft. It says there in the bio here, it says horsepower enough. Maybe it was just a little bit too much. We heard it spool up and then bad sounds. So they're gonna figure that out. Jerry Clements taking a tumble, trying to help us out here as we get Mike Babcock off the runway. Levi is going to do a go around and go back into the pattern. I'm going to kind of assess what's going on with this engine here. I think we're going to be doing go rounds all around here while we get the race course safe. That, I gotta say, Cam, is just, I'm hoping Mike can return. Obviously, you have to assess what's going on. It could be like a programming issue with an engine like that. Like, these are highly tuned engines. But Mike Babcock put in the best combined score of practice yesterday.
Yeah, man, I was looking forward to this so much.
Like, I wanted it's like the great hero's journey, right? He's been working with the plane. He's trying to be proficient with the plane. He's working on all of the modifications to make it this real fire-breathing beast. And I was like so excited for like the character arc to complete in a victory after all the struggles he's had getting that plane up and running, and to have a top of the charts score yesterday in practice. Man. I was like, dude, it's finally happening for him. He's been working for like a year.
Yeah.
Like a full year getting that plane, and now we've got this going on with the engine. And so obviously, like, I think discretion is probably the better part of valor, right? You don't want to, if you got something going on your engine, you don't just go back into the sky, you go check it out. But that is really sad for me. To see that. Sorry. Race control, I'll show behind the curtain a little bit. They said, I just replayed Jerry's fall. Where were you guys? And I was like, well, I missed it. Missed the replay.
So-
We're going to do it again. Here we go. Here's Jerry's fall. Oh, he's reaching. Oh, yeah, takes a digger. There we go. Jerry Clemens, everybody.
Dude, that was a perfect fall.
That
He
was a
rolled-
good tuck and roll.
He
Like, I'm
rolled
on-
away from the elevator, so I mean, like, yeah.
I would be literally dead after that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been thinking at all.
I'd be like, I'm on the ground. So, nice tuck and roll, Jerry. It's important we mention one of our sponsors as well, in Clemens Insurance, and so Jerry can take a fall like that because he's well insured.
Very well capable, apparently.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. That was like a ninja move. All right, so we are resetting now. I'm kind of heartbroken for Mike Babcock, if I'm honest.
Yeah, man.
I was really looking forward to that. And again, like yesterday, let me go in the score sheet to see what his scores were in practice. Different wind conditions, but he was number 1 on the board all of practice. He had a 44-foot takeoff, a 38-foot takeoff combined with a scratch. His total combined score was 108 yesterday. That is bonkers. So that's what Mike Babcock was getting ready to put down for you. He was even out in front of Dan Reynolds. Okay, now back to business. Levi Nogues.
Go. The legend Nomad.
Hey, see, that's the secret of that plane. It can be that's
Yeah,
incredible.
that's competitive.
That is 100% competitive in this class. I wonder if it'll end up in the Cub Class or in I guess the Cub Class would make the most other sense, depending on where it gets placed competitively. But that was pretty incredible there. That's going to put Levi, obviously, in first, at least for now, with a combined score of 223. High strung.
Look at high strung. Yeah.
Oh! We have a fight. Look at that.
That was awesome.
Ryan Steck, the mighty return. Look at that. That is accuracy on the line. Oh, did it touch? Uh-oh.
Oh, I can't tell.
It's hard to tell from here.
Oh,
no. Okay, so no good for Brian Steck on that one, which leaves Levi Nogues on the board in first with a combined score of 223. By the way, if you're wondering what Brian Steck's going to bring on the next run, that one coming in at about 150 feet combined. Pat McIntyre now. Oh, dropping it in.
Ooh.
Ye old chop, plop, and drop by Pat McIntyre. And that is going to be a great one to get him on the board as well. He had a 116-foot takeoff. Waiting to see what the landing was. 79 feet on that landing by Pat McIntyre. Here's the thing now. Mike Babcock, sadly out of the running. Brian Steck is going to be Pat McIntyre's main competition. Their landings are neck and neck, with Brian Steck pulling off the shorter takeoffs. He's just got a bit more power under the hood.
Let's see what they're gonna do.
Well, they reset here. I want to say big thanks to the folks at Gallatin Public Works. They've been here all weekend, keeping the place spotless, taking care of all the trash. Really appreciate all their help. Okay, here goes Levi Nogues now in the Legend Nomad. And look at that, loaded off there. Couple of knots on the wind, making a big difference for him.
So 113 was his first takeoff. 89 feet.
So now we've got a real firefight because Levi Nogues just took off in 89 feet. Brian Steck's last takeoff was 73.
Here comes the MOAC. Roaring into the skies. Sub 75 feet for Brian Steck. So Levi Nogues stacking up at 89. Brian Steck sub 75. Pat McIntyre's got a lot of ground to cover on this takeoff, but feel it.
Yeah.
In the air tonight.
He's got the wind.
I can feel it in the air tonight.
I can too.
Here he goes, Pat McIntyre. No!
okay.
75 feet! They are putting the adventure in adventure class. What is happening? Gallatin's like, I would like to give you some wind finally, National Stole. Here you go.
Yes, we will gladly take it.
I don't want to say that was all wind. There's obviously some piloting in effect as well. But holy cow, that is, I believe, the shortest takeoff of the competition by Pat McIntyre was 65 feet. What were we doing in sport class? We had 67 feet by Eddie Sanchez in the sport class. So I do believe that will be the shortest takeoff of the competition thus far. An update from race control cam. Mike Babcock will be allowed to return if he can before the end of the class, but currently he's out due to, and I quote, unknown mechanical issues.
Okay.
So they've got a lot of looking around to do to see if he can get back in the race. Here comes Levi Nogues on the right in the Legend Nomad.
Yes. Pillowy soft.
You know, Legend Moab would also be a cool name for a plane.
It would be.
I know I kind of just flubbed that, I just kind of misspoke, but Legend Moab,
Or
the MOAC, the Moab, it all kind of works.
The Moab edition MOAC.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Yeah.
Call us, Legend. You can have that one for free. Okay. Here comes Brian Stack. Now, he is not yet on the board due to the first run being a scratch. Working that wind, crosswind from the right.
Yeah.
What? I told you, Gallatin. I told you it was gonna get spicy. Look at that. That was well over the line in the adventure class, and that is going to rocket Brian Stack up into the front with a combined score of 141. But Pat McIntyre just settled down into ground effect off to your right there. He had a 65-foot takeoff. So all he needs to do is land in 73 feet or less, and he's got it on this run. Whoa. Okay, good down and slow it down.
Yeah.
Look at that, sub 75 feet by Pat McIntyre. What is happening? MOAC versus Nomad versus BLT. This is the new hotness in National Stole.
This number, 64 feet for Patrick McIntyre.
That's dumb. That is upsettingly short. Wait, imagine what we could be doing with like a bigger wind down the pipe. A Moses Lake style wind. I say that as we get a gust across from the left here. But like that, oh geez, okay, so we've reshuffled again, folks. Pat McIntyre now up top, 129. Brian Steck, 141. Levi Nogues, 220, still hanging with the big boys, even though it's a Rotax-powered or sport plane or Cub Class aircraft. It's just absolutely beautiful, these two Legend aircraft.
go.
Think about that too. Like that plane put in an 89-foot takeoff, and I believe that Levi could shorten those landings up, and he could do. He could do.
Yeah.
High strung. Woo! Down to 68 feet. Did he best it here? Levi was a little bit longer. Yes, he did. Brian Steck with a 62-foot takeoff. We're almost in the mythical F-14 takeoff.
Yeah.
Here comes Pat Magnus here. Sail high, sail down. Oh! I'm just screaming because I don't know what else to do. This is blowing my mind. What I'm waiting for is someone to take off in less than 50 feet because that is the nose to tail length of an F-14 Tomcat.
Yes.
And Americans, we always measure things in other things. So I want to see an F-14 Tomcat or shorter takeoff and or landing. Thank you. Okay. We're on the final set of landings for the adventure class. Mike Babcock still has not returned.
I heard it running just a little while ago, but it's not on right now. He's Badlands Traveler.
Legend Nomad coming in. Want to learn more about this aircraft? Legend.aero. Ooh, right on the line, heavily short. That is what I was expecting from Levi Nogues.
Let's go.
Good by Lexi.
Okay.
Did we just upset the whole apple cart? Maybe. Watching that line, I think that is good. I think that's, yeah, you can see where it hit right after the line. That was good by Levi Nogues.
70 feet on that landing.
So that will not be enough, but it could have been. He said he wasn't sure where it should go, what class it should go in. It could have been. He's got all the right pieces to pair together. Okay, Brian Steck, third and final landing. Ooh, burst of power to hold it over the line. It's going to push him a little bit further down.
For Brian Steck. 102 on that landing.
Oh, I can't even breathe.
Yeah.
What? Okay, here comes Pat McIntyre. Victory assured at this point, I believe. 60-foot landing, going to be going for his personal best here, I think, in this aircraft.
Ooh, yes.
Nicely done, Pat McIntyre. It's going to roll a little bit longer than the other one. Going to knock over a cone for good measure. He's going to pull it off the hands of all the judges, too. All right, that is the adventure class here at Music City STOL 2025. What an absolute barn burner that was. Oh man, I cannot wait for what's going to happen in a limited class. We need to take a break because I need to catch my breath. We'll be right back with a little bit more right after this.
What's up, Av Geeks and Stole Freaks? Welcome to Lone Star STOL here in beautiful Sulphur Springs, Texas. It's Luke's for everybody, 2019 American Legend Aircraft BOAC. A round of applause for Chuck Olmstead. In the gray and orange BOAC, Ryan Shirley, everybody. Give a round of applause for Brian Steck.
It's good. Textbook. You might be sub 60 feet on that one. It's an unlimited class. It's what you've been waiting for. That's right, the Beast Mode BOAC, Colin Geneva.
Oh my goodness gracious. Frank Knapp showing that he deserves to belong here. Whoa, that was legendary.
Welcome back to Music City STOL 2025, and we just had, as my friend Corey Robbins says, an absolute barn burner of a competition in the adventure class. You guys like that one? That was rowdy. If it was a little rowdy, okay. Wait, guys, come up here. I feel weird, or we'll meet you halfway. Well, okay, we're figuring it out. All right, so here we go. In the adventure class, third place with a combined score of 175 feet. Let's hear it for Levi Nogas. In second place, Brian, it's such good to see you, man. I missed you. Combined score of 141 feet, second place to Brian Steck. And in first place, with a combined score of 129 feet, Pat McIntyre. Pat, second competition in this plane?
Yep.
Fair to say you're becoming friends with it?
Yeah, I like the plane. Yeah.
What's your favorite part about it besides that it's red?
The white.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Talk to me about competition today, because you definitely tightened it up real tight towards the end there.
Yeah, well, I mean, flying against these two, it was a blast. It was really close the whole way around, and I'm flying around up there watching them land short, so I knew I had to do well. It was fun.
It was awesome. It was so fun to watch you guys fly. Let's hear it for this adventure class, everybody. We got one more class to go, the unlimited class. We got a weird little plane over here you're going to see fly kind of stupidly too. All right, more to come in just a second.
He pushes me and I push him, and same with Hal. We're challenging each other. Everyone's like, whoa, this is gonna be close.
I have beat him, but not often. I gotta be really on my game and he's gotta be off his a little bit.
The hard work happens with the majority of what Steve does before we get here. It's the innovations, the development of the new parts, testing them, all that, and a lot of that has to do with what Steve does before we get here.
Really excited. I just hung my weights and got everything ready for traditional STOL, and I'm just excited to get going.
I usually fly a Highlander, but I sold it. I'm rebuilding a new one that's going to be pretty competitive at both National STOL and STOL Drag, so I'm excited about that, but it ain't ready yet.
I fly my Rans off a grass strip in airport about 15 minutes from my house. Rick and Colin Kadiva, both really good friends of mine. Colin has a place with a strip behind his house. I've flown in and out of there.
Patrick and I, we got a little bit of a grudge match going.
Come on, get it stopped, Charles. Get it stopped, Charles. No!
You know, had to let it all hang out. One way or another, we're going to stop it, even if it's sideways.
It was so fun. I got to fly the unlimited. You can't beat it.
And we are back. I'm still trying to catch my breath from that adventure class, and we are gearing up for the unlimited class, Cam. You see there, Pat McAteer putting some fuel in the plane before he taxis it off. And we're going to be gearing up for unlimited. What are you looking for in the, actually, I don't know if he's going to taxi it off, because this plane is about to be flown in the unlimited class as well. What are you looking for in this this matchup?
Ooh, that's a loaded question, man, because there's just so much happening with unlimited. It's hard to pick. It's hard to pick a favorite, honestly. But you have this beast of an airplane that's right in front of us that's going up against an airplane that has written on the side, not an airplane, or not a real airplane. So I mean, like, yeah, it's just. I don't know. I just know that Dan is going to perform, and he's got a beast of an airplane to go up against.
I mean, it's going to be a pretty interesting matchup. I don't think you would have two more different airplanes, right? Like on the left, you see Dan Reynolds. He's taxiing up right now in the Chinook. This is a purpose-built STOL airplane. He flies airplanes like this up in Canada on mountaintops, puts them on skis, and goes adventuring all over the place. Look at the way it's designed for STOL, right? There's slats on the front. They're the extra little control surface that keeps the wind attached to the wing. It's got the pusher prop, makes it a little bit better for backcountry ops. You don't have to worry about hitting that prop on anything.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you still can't nose it over, though. That could happen. They do call him Lawn Dart Dan. He's been known to do that in competition and at demos. It's got just a big chunky wing. There's a little extra sweet sauce here and there, some super secret stuff that he's done to it, but it's very light, and it is very, for lack of a better term, lifty. That's a really high lift wing going on there. That thing can fly incredibly slow. So, from Dawson, Canada, the 1983 Chinook Valley Special, race number 9. Let's hear it for Dan Reynolds on the left there. And then, go ahead, Cam. I got too excited.
Dan Reynolds is a bush pilot. He's been a bush pilot all his life, flying Super Cub, the Cessna 185s. His total flying time is 17,000 plus hours. This airplane is a highly modified 1983 Chinook WT-11.
Next up, in the plane you just saw dominate the adventure class. I don't know if dominate's fair, but it definitely put up an amazing fight and won the fight with Pat McAteer at the controls. From Manhattan, Kansas now, race 603. This 2025 Badlands Traveler now piloted by Jared Garrettson.
Jared Garrettson is entering his second year with National STOL Competition. He buys, sells, trades, and builds experimental backcountry airplanes, and is known for saying, if I can fit in it, I'll fly it.
So we talked about the Chinook. Now let's talk again about this Badlands Traveler, right? You've got something, instead of a Rotax 670, you've got a Lycoming IoT 60 on the front. It's got a lot more power, but if you look at the empty weights, this is what I'm talking about when they say they could not be more different. Dan Reynolds' plane weighs 540 pounds empty. Jared Garrettson's plane that he's flying right now weighs 1,090 pounds empty. So it's literally twice as heavy.
That's insane. Like, Dan's airplane weighs as much as me and basically another CFI sitting in the airplane. I'm not a CFI, but a CFI sitting next to me or another passenger.
Yeah, I mean, the plane weighs as much as you and me.
Yeah.
That's insane. So there you go, Jared Garretson to kick off the Unlimited class at Music City STOL, and we're gonna see it's a good bar to measure by. I'm also interested in how he compares against Pat McIntyre in the last
Oh,
round.
yeah.
Notice the judges got really close. Loading off for Dan Reynolds in the Chinook. So, gauntlet dropped. 96-foot takeoff for Jared Garretson. Dan Reynolds' score will be updating shortly.
It's going to be close.
Pat McIntyre's shortest takeoff was 60 feet. So I'm kind of looking for Jared Garretson to beat that too, just because I'm curious about it. Dan Reynolds now with our shortest takeoff with 55 feet.
That's insane.
Bonkers. I don't, like, at some point, like maybe, like, we've gone that short. You know, we've seen Steve Henry take off in 6 feet in heavy wind.
Yep.
Right? At some point, National STOL, with all the advancement that it's brought to the STOL world, I think we're probably looking at negative takeoffs. Like at some point, someone's going to take off backwards, right? Like that's just what's going to happen.
That's got to be the next phase, the next level.
So here comes Jared Garretson in the BLT. Hanging it off the prop. Holy moly. Giving up so much, though. Wasn't feeling it for whatever reason. That does not seem like the classic Jared Garretson landing.
Yeah, wonder what he was thinking there.
So we haven't seen the best performance out of him. And now, here comes Dan Reynolds on your right, doing a helicopter impression. Just floating her in. And we got enough time. I want to talk about one of our sponsors we haven't mentioned yet today, Tundra Tailwheel. Go to tundratailwheel.com to get a sleeker design with the added security of a locking tailwheel. They're proudly made in America, and they deliver exactly what you need. They're compatible with Leaf Spring, T3, Acme Arrow, and TK1 suspensions. Look at that. Time to spare because he's going so slow in the air. Here comes Dan Reynolds in the Chinook. Darting it in just a little bit. Watch the tail pipe bend under the
Yeah.
Good showing by Dan Reynolds. So we got to see what we got to get Jared Garretson going on one of those classic Jared Garretson landings. Looking in the cockpit there, Dan Reynolds didn't look like he was very happy with that either. You got to wonder what just happened to the wind.
It's gone.
It was hanging out with us at Adventure Class, and now it's gone again. We are winds calm right now at XNX, X-ray November X-ray. Gearing up for the next run of the Unlimited class.
takeoff of 152 out there. Chevy's running out to sub 100. Let's see what that number's going to be. That's going to be 99 feet for Jared Garrettson. Taxis up, spools up on the line.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Okay, they're pointing at 50 feet. Maybe 51, 52 feet.
That's wild. His last takeoff was 55 feet, so we'll see if he shaved anything off of that. A little bit further, 58 feet. He's going to pair that with an incredibly short landing no matter what. As Jared Garrettson rounds the corner for base. More input, now he's base final.
Coming around nice and low, keeping it tight for us.
Yeah. See the BLT just starting to slow down. It almost looks like slow motion on your iPhone.
Whoa, buddy.
Yeah.
Slow. Look at that, burst of power.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
Oh.
what I'm looking for, Garrettson. We just had our F-14 Tomcat landing.
Yes, sub 50 feet.
Got a little bit of Navy in him, maybe.
Yeah. See what you did there.
Look at that.
Yeah, replay was super close. That's going to be a 40-foot landing for Jared Garrettson.
Woo-wee.
Wow.
Okay, now Dan's got his work cut out for him. Probably flying 30 miles an hour over the ground.
Yeah.
Maybe less. The slightest of breeze in the air.
Just driving down a neighborhood street.
Oh, down and stopped.
Oh!
Right around 50 feet for Dan Reynolds as well.
Yep, exactly 50 feet for Dan Reynolds. Still puts him in first place. His combined total for that landing is 108. It's the number to beat. I mean, if Garrett can do another 40-foot landing and do something shorter than 99 feet. Releasing the brakes.
Here we go!
All right.
I don't know. Where are we at on the scores here, though? Like, are we... I'm separately, like, having a little mini competition between Pat McIntyre and Jared Garrettson. And right now, Jared Garrettson not flying as short as Pat McIntyre. That was an 80-foot takeoff, a big improvement. He's going to have to make it up on the landing, and he's trying to make it up on the landing against Dan Reynolds, who just did almost a 50-foot takeoff.
Yeah.
You have your work cut out for you, Jared.
Jeez. Looking at this takeoff from Dan Reynolds.
51. Oh. we're starting to get into that range where you start to wonder about airplanes like this, and like, I start to ask myself questions like, is that the safest airplane you could fly? Because you can land it literally anywhere. If you were to have an engine out, you could land, if you were Dan Reynolds anyway, you could land that airplane in a parking lot.
Yeah.
You know what I
Almost
mean? Like
anywhere.
anywhere,
I mean,
backyard.
Yeah.
Jerry Garrettson now, base to final, settling back down. The pressure is on. He did have, I want to give him credit where credit's due, the shortest landing of the competition with 40 feet. Trying to fly as slow as possible. Tail's gonna come down. Oh, was it on the line?
Oh no!
Lexi isn't giving us an indication either way. And that is going to be a scratch for Jared Garrettson, which all but locks it up for Dan Reynolds in first place. He's gonna come in, look at him hovering down, victorious. He doesn't know yet, though.
Yeah, you probably didn't even know.
Combined score of 108, bringing it home for Dan Reynolds. And we start to wonder about which planes go where in which classes. Holy cow, here he comes in for the victory lap. Look at that! Down sub 50 feet for Dan Reynolds in the Chinook. What a triumphant end to the day, folks. What an amazing day it has absolutely been. We are going to take one last short break and be back with the conclusion of the Unlimited class in just a moment. Check 1, check 2. There we go. Thanks so much for a great day, Gallatin. It's time to wrap it up with the Unlimited class. Let's give a round of applause for Jared Garrettson and Dan Reynolds showing you how it's done. Here we go. In second place with a combined score of 139 feet, Jared Garrettson. And with a combined score of 101 feet, give it up for Dan Reynolds. Dan, we were just talking about the air out there. What was it doing for you today?
Well, as soon as we pulled up the line, it went to a tailwind. I'm thinking, oh, that's typical of the Unlimited, but then it actually
What do we have to? You're going to be at the finals in Sulphur Springs. We got any tricks up your sleeve?
no tricks. I'm just going to try to do my best as always, and look forward to it.
Awesome. We can't wait to see you guys there. Let's give it up for the Unlimited class again. Music City STOL. This has been one heck of a ride. We've had a lot of fun being here with you this weekend. I want to say a big thank you to Cam Walton, Tom Wolf, Karen Flannery, the rest of the broadcast team, Eric Farewell as well. You guys are all absolutely amazing. Thank you to our air bosses over there who keep us safe in the air, as well as the first responders here who have been keeping us safe on the ground. Thank you to all of our volunteers that make an event like this happen. We cannot wait to see you in a few weeks in Sulphur Springs, Texas for the National Championships. Fly safe at Peaks. We will see you soon.